Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, as you guys can see, I do have a new backdrop. I'm just kind of testing something out and seeing what I think of it, and if I end up liking it, maybe I might make it something permanent. We'll see. I just wanted to switch it up a little bit and have more like of a plain background. Anyways, so in today's video, I am super excited because today I am going to be sharing with you guys my first impressions of a brand new palette that just launched probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, and that is the Naked Cherry palette. So this is what it looks like. As you guys know, Urban Decay did discontinue their original Naked palette, even though I did see it on Sephora and on Urban Decay for $27, and it is in stock online for both websites. So just letting you guys know, if you guys did want to get it and you guys weren't able to get it when it first got discontinued, it is back. I don't know how long it's going to be back, but they do have it back in stock on both of the websites. I was super excited for this palette. The last Naked palette that came out was the Naked Heat palette, which I do have, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Naked Heat palette, not because of the formula or anything, but just because, I don't know, I know this sounds so weird, but the type of warm tone colors that I like tend to be like berries and like reds and pinks more than oranges and browns. That's just my personal preference. I still like the palette. I think the palette is beautiful. I think it does perform very well, but I don't know if I would say it's one of my favorite palettes. So I was so excited for this one because these colors in this palette are right up my alley. So if you guys don't know what it looks like, I will reveal it for you. I haven't played with it yet. I only opened it to make sure it didn't break. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette. So you can see it has a lot of pretty like pink and purpley shades. Some people are saying this is a cool tone palette. I don't know if I would say that because the shades in here are pretty, some of them are warm. I'd say maybe 1 or 2 of them might be cool tone, but we will see. So as all of their Naked palettes, they do have 12 eyeshadows in them, and they do include a full-size dual-ended brush, and it's super cute, very soft. I don't know if I'm going to use it because honestly I'm not a big fan of Urban Decay brushes. That's just me personally. I don't really care for them. This is what it looks like, and I really like this type of packaging compared to their older packaging. So the first one was like that felt packaging that was just like a cardboard, and then the second and third one were the metal ones that like clasped shut, which they seemed like a good idea, but what I hated about them was sometimes they were really hard to open and even sometimes hard to close. This, I like it because it's just a magnetic closure here. It is kind of a strong magnet, but I feel like it's very secure and it's very lightweight. The metal ones were definitely a lot more heavier. So anyways, I'm gonna quickly go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera, and then I will zoom you guys in closer so we can do the eyes. As you guys can see, my eyebrows are done. We're gonna jump right into this. I am gonna be using, like I said, the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, which looks like this. You guys have no idea how excited I am for this palette. So I'm going to start off here with the shade called Fees, which looks like this. So I'm going to take Fees and I'm going to go ahead and put that right into the crease. I just realized it's not called Fees, it's called Feels. My bad. Holy freaking pigment. Then I'm going to go ahead and, so I'm going to go into the shade right here called Bing and put that in the crease as well with a pointed taper brush from Morphe. So I had to turn off the light behind me because I guess I'm just way too close to this light that's behind me, and that gives it the nice reflect, because every time I was like looking down, my camera just dimmed too much and you couldn't really see what I was doing. So like I said, this is new for me. I am testing it out, and I'm just blending it out with a clean blending brush. This has no product on it at all. I just want it to be nice and seamless. So then I'm gonna go into the shade here called Privacy, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to go ahead and take that and put it on my outer corner as well as a little tiny bit into my crease. And then I'm just taking some of that Bing shade from earlier, and I'm just going to make sure that this blends in with everything else. Then I'm going to go into the shade here called Devilish, which looks like this. It's a little bit darker than Bing, but lighter than Privacy. And I'm going to take that on that pointed taper brush again that we were using earlier, and I just want to deepen this up just a little bit more. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my concealer. So I'm using the Alamar Cosmetics brush from the Ojitos Trio. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of my concealer. This thing is so massive. No, it was only $10. And it brings way more than the Colourpop No Filter Concealer, which is kind of why I am really liking it. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do, carve out the inner half of my eye. But what I want to do is, as I get closer to the like outer V, is I want to make this thinner, almost like a line. Okay, so we have something like that, and then I'm going to take the remainder of the concealer and kind of make it like a slant right there. So something more or less like that is what you want it to look like. And I'm going to go ahead and quickly do the other eye. So that's what we have going on there, and I'm not going to set my eyes. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the shade here called Young Love. We're going to take Young Love, which is right here, and we are going to take that on a very small little flat synthetic brush, and I'm gonna just put that on this part of my eye. So it's like the center of my eye. So I'm only gonna put this on this part of my eye right here. So like the diagonal part. And then when you're doing it, make sure that you're like almost starting right at the inner tear duct. Just like probably like a little tiny bit back from the tear duct, and create like a diagonal towards that little cut crease shape. Because you want to keep the inner like moon shape of the beginning of that cut lid to be empty, because we're gonna put a different color there. So the inner part that's left empty, I'm gonna take the shade here called Bang Bang, and I'm gonna take that same exact brush and put that on the inner part that is left empty. And you want that part to start blending in with the berry color. So if they touch, it is perfectly fine, because that's how they blend in. So you see like that type of transition that's going on there. So then I'm going to take this shade called Drunk Dial, which is a darkened berry shimmer color. It's similar to Privacy in the sense of how dark it is, but it's more shimmery. And then what I'm going to do is where we put the Privacy color and right where the Young Love color meet, just right in between those two colors, I'm going to place this, because I want it to blend in seamlessly. I don't want there to be a harsh distinction between shimmer and matte. And since this shimmer shade is a similar tone to the dark shade that we put in the crease, it will give a more seamless blend. And then what I do is I kind of flick it inwards towards the pink shade on the lid. So that's what we have going on, and I'm gonna go ahead and line my eyes real quick, do the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so my liner's done, my face is done. I was gonna do my eyeliner on camera, but my camera was overheating, so I just decided to do it off camera. I was actually contemplating whether if I should do it or not, but I am glad that I did it. I miss doing wing eyeliner so much. The Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner is my absolute #1 favorite liquid eyeliner I have ever used in my whole entire life. It's matte, and it's so easy to use. It doesn't like squirt out any like eyeliner as it starts running out, and it really lasts for a really long time too. Maybe it's because I haven't used it in such a long time, but I used to use this religiously. I just find it makes doing eyeliner super easy. Just non-sponsored plug there. Anyways, so then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take this brush here. It's from Bugeshi, I think is how you pronounce it. So these brushes were recently given to me, and these brushes, guys, are the softest brushes I have ever used in my whole entire life. I love this brush in particular. This is the taper blending brush for after I finish all my eyeshadow, before I put on my highlighter, to just blend everything together. I find that it makes the blend so much more seamless. As you guys can see, this is what it looks like after it's blended all out. And like, I'm just gonna blend a little bit in there too, The way I like using this brush is with no product. It just looks like this because it picks up that excess product that you don't really need to blend everything out. But this brush, guys, is so soft. I also have the concealer brush from them, which makes doing like carving out your eyebrows such a breeze, as well as their eyeliner brush, which I really like this a lot for eyeliner. I used it the other day to do like a wing liner with a gel liner that was like a color, and it was so easy because it's nice and dense, but it's still like has some flexibility to it. And then one of my other favorites that I really like that I was going to use today but I didn't because it's a little bit too dirty is the eye shader brush from them. So this is what it looks like. It is super soft, and it's really nice and dense and small, so you can really get in there and do all the detail work that you want to do. So anyways, I just wanted to share those brushes with you guys because, like I said, these were given to me. I'm not paid to talk about any of this. I wasn't asked to do any of this. I just wanted to let you guys know about some amazing brushes. I will link them down below for you guys so you guys can check them out. And they are very affordable, and I think they're way better than Morphe, to be really honest. Morphe just has a broader selection of detailing brushes and stuff like that. But these brushes are amazing and really great for beginners. To finish off the eyes, I'm going to take the shade here called Caution. And I'm going to take down my Sonia Kashuk angled crease brush, and I'm going to just take a little tiny bit of that, and I'm going to use it to highlight my brow bone. Actually, I'm going to take some of the Hot Spot shade, which is right next to it. It's a little lighter. This shade just isn't doing really much for me. There we go. Like if you're doing a natural look, that shade's better, but for a more intense look, the Hot Spot shade is better. My MAC 219 brush, take the Bang Bang shade, put a little tiny bit in my inner corner as a base. Take a little bit of the Hot Spot shade and put it right on top, and then take Bang Bang again. Brightened it up some, but I am gonna intensify that a little bit more. So I'm taking one of my Ulta glitter tears. You guys know these are some of my favorites. I haven't used them in a while, but I'm gonna use them today to brighten up that inner tear duct. So I just kind of place a little bit in the inner corner, and then I like to take it like a third of the way or a fourth of the way on my lower lash line there. And this one is in the shade Comet, so it's the more like rose gold color. I don't know if these are still available, but I love these so much. All right, so that just really brightened everything up. So then I'm gonna go ahead and finish everything else. I'm gonna do my lashes really quick. I'm just gonna put on mascara and then put on some lipstick, and I'll be right back. So this here is the finished look. I did top it or finish it off with a nice very dark vampy purple lip, which I am obsessed with. This is, by the way, Colourpop Hutch. I don't know if it's still available, but this is from last year's fall collection. And I love vampy lips. I haven't done a vampy lip quite this dark yet this year, so I am really excited about this. And for my mascara, I did use the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara, just in case if you guys are wondering. I am obsessed with this mascara. I have not stopped using it since I got it. So thank you, boxycharm, for introducing me to this. I think it might be my new favorite, just saying. Anyways, so this is the finished look. Overall, I am obsessed, guys. Like, words can't describe how I feel about this eyeshadow palette right here. I know a lot of people have been saying this, but I really think it's true. I think this is my absolute favorite Urban Decay Naked palette that has ever come out. And I have all of them. I have the Naked Basics. Actually no, I think I'm missing two of them. But I have almost all of them. The ones that are in this size, I do have all of them. Couldn't really say which one was my favorite because I kind of got bored with them, to be really honest. And I feel like this just put like Urban Decay back on the charts, because I don't even know why I got the Naked Heat. I think it was for all the hype, and I was just excited because I was like, ooh, look, warm tones. And I remember, oh crap, I don't really like warm tones that much, except for my Morphe 3502 palette, which is my favorite warm tone palette ever. I just love this look so much. I love these eyeshadows. I'm just obsessed with this palette. The pigmentation of these eyeshadows are amazing. They're not powdery. They blend like a dream. I definitely, like I said, think that this palette is gonna put Urban Decay back on the charts, because not even gonna lie, I feel like there's just been so many brands that have been coming out, and so many like indie brands or like influencer brands that have been coming out with amazing products, and have just kind of pushed Urban Decay away, especially when it came to their eyeshadows. And it made me feel sad because the Naked palette was my first like high-end eyeshadow palette, and that kind of was what made me fall in love with makeup. Like that's kind of how I started getting into like reviewing makeup and doing all the stuff that I'm doing now. So it did make me really sad that I was seeing like nobody really, not that they didn't care, but like that Urban Decay just wasn't as hyped up or as sought after as these other brands like Anastasia or Colourpop or Dose of Colors. Those are just a few that I can think of on the top of my head. I definitely see myself using this palette way more than any of my other Naked palettes that I have. If you love purples and plums and pinks, you need to get this eyeshadow palette, because the thing I love about this eyeshadow palette and what I feel like the other Naked palettes didn't have is the versatility in them. Because even though it is one color family here, you have like a dark matte, you have a shimmery dark color. It almost is like whatever they have in the shimmers, they have a matte version of it. So I feel like you get a fair amount of shimmers as well as mattes. You really can do so many looks out of this. Yeah, they'll be the same like color tone, so they might look similar because they are in the same color family, but you can really deepen something up or lighten something down. I think I might want to do a 3 looks using this palette. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in. Also wanted to point something out too that I noticed when I was buying it, because usually from the past, like the first Naked palette was $50, then the second one was $51, the third one was $52, the smoky one was $53, the Naked Heat was $54, and then I noticed that this one was $49, which I thought was so weird. I thought it would have been $55 if they would have continued the scheme. But like I said, I think it's just because people just haven't been paying as much attention to Urban Decay, so the hype and the want for it isn't there anymore. But I definitely think them putting this at $49 will get people more interested in wanting to try this out. So yeah, that is my thoughts on this palette. I absolutely recommend it. If you guys are thinking about picking it up or want a really pretty berry eyeshadow palette that isn't bland and boring, this is it, guys. So let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then,